my name is Aprille Walker from the Yoga Ranger Studio, and today's Yin Yoga practice is for hormone imbalance and adrenal fatigue. So your endocrine system runs throughout your entire body. There's a large number of little glands that produce hormones that help control so many things about your body. How you sleep, your sedation, whether you are able to kind of wind down from your day, how you energize with adrenaline or cortisol, how you regulate your body temperature, how you regulate your heartbeat, how you regulate your circulation. So much of your body is controlled by these little glands throughout your body that secrete these hormones. So if those hormones are imbalanced, as in maybe they're insufficiently producing or they're producing in excess of, your body can be out of whack in a million different ways. So this practice is focused on bringing you back to a sense of balance by taking a nice, long, mindful look with some breath, as well as looking at several different meridian lines. Actually, most of the meridian lines, it covers most of the meridian lines, but focusing mostly on the liver, the kidney, the heart, the lungs, and the spleen meridian lines to help you reset, rebalance, and perhaps bring you back to a sense of normalcy where you feel a little bit either less fatigued or less kind of over-energized. So think about these poses in terms of that and go ahead and take a look at a couple of things we need for our practice. I normally suggest a blanket underneath just for your comfort. It always makes it a little bit easier in some of these poses to hold them longer. An extra blanket or rolled up beach towel for you to use for some of the poses that we're going to take. This bottom one is not absolutely essential, but the second one probably is for our first few poses. So we're going to start just in a seat. So whatever seat works for you. For me, it's nice to just take a blanket behind and sit up on it in hero pose. This helps me get height in my spine, but if you want to cross your legs or sit up some other way with your legs out, we're going to start with just some breathing techniques. So pranayama or breathing techniques are some of the most effective ways to help manage hormone imbalance and help bring things back into alignment throughout your body. So just close your eyes, take your hands palms up or palms down onto your knees. Start to notice your inhale and your exhale. And as much as possible, inhale and exhale through your nose. Begin to bring that breath into balance. Maybe same length inhale, same length exhale. We call this samavriti, or same length. And smooth the breath out, allowing it to be equal and even. Sometimes there'll be a little bit of a hiccup at the top or the bottom. Think about your breath originating in your belly first, moving into the center of your chest and then your collarbones. And then as you exhale, collarbones, chest, belly. You will find that as you pay attention to this breath, it will begin to slow down automatically. Maybe your breath comes to a 5 or 6 count inhale or exhale. Don't make yourself breathless. And think of the breath as massaging the body into softness. So feel your seat settle, your body ground, your shoulders soften, your neck soften. Feel the tension in your back release. Take 5 more deep breaths. Maybe feel yourself smile, softening your face, your jaw. On your last inhale, take a really full deep breath. Open your mouth, exhale. Feel everything soften. Go ahead and open your eyes, and our first pose is going to be a supported fish pose. So taking that same rolled beach towel or blanket, take it about 2/3 up your mat. Go ahead and lay your shoulders down on it, and you're going to kind of use your feet to inch your way so that the shoulders lay firmly on the floor. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. And I like to take my arms up overhead for more stretch. See what you feel like today. You want to be able to reach the hands, back of the palms, and the forearms completely onto the floor so you feel fully supported. Now remember in Yin that we take 2/3 of our maximum posture. So even though you probably could go deeper, you might want to hold out here. We'll be here for about 4 minutes. And in Yin, you settle into your pose. Commit to staying still and breathing through it. And have some patience. Let the pose do what the pose does so well. Coming back to that breath now that we've settled in. Belly, chest, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, chest, belly. Allowing that breath to be same length. And feel that breath begin to let everything release. Shoulders and back soften. Everything feels a little bit less tensed up and ready to go. Just about 5 more deep breaths. Notice as your breath begins to extend a little bit longer on the exhale. This is a natural way to sort of kick into the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is on your rest and digest. So when you have adrenal fatigue, you've spent a lot of time overstressed, whether it be from physical illness or stress levels exceeding for a long period of time. Your body doesn't know how to turn off and release. So allow that exhale to extend longer and longer in your practice. Last 2 deep breaths. Go ahead and take one leg out straight and then the other. You can start to bring the arms down a little bit closer. Take a few breaths here just to let your legs come back and your hips to feel a little bit softer. It is much easier to breathe deeply when you have your chest lifted like this. So if you're ever having sort of panic attacks or anxiety or overly stressed, this is a great way to sort of release that tension and allow your breath to be fuller. Go ahead and bend your knees, bring your feet flat. You're going to gently let those knees fall over to the right side and slowly press yourself up. So we're going to do half dragonfly. So take that rolled blanket or towel, you're going to fold it just so it doesn't feel too rolly off. Take it back behind you. Take that right leg out in front, left leg pull it in. So if this is a lot for your knee, you can always take that leg out further. This is not a requirement to have it tucked in. Tuck it in as far as you feel comfortable. Bounce your knee a little bit to soften it, and then go ahead and just walk your hands and fold forward. So the blanket behind you gives you a little bit of pelvic tilt, allows you to feel gravity pull. If you find yourself able to come all the way down to the floor, feel free to go there. But once again, 2/3 of your maximum pose. Release all the muscle tension. Let your toes be soft, your knee be soft. If your hamstrings are really restricted, you can bend that knee. Give yourself a little relief. Just 5 more deep breaths. Here, once again, feeling that exhale extend a little bit longer. And as that exhale extends, you can feel yourself softening a little bit more. Last deep inhale and exhale. Using your hands, start to lift yourself back up to center. Take that right hand to the inside of that right knee, left hand out, and just windshield wiper. So you can lean back and just windshield wiper those knees side to side. And then we'll hit the second side. It has been a very strange day here in Texas. It was 91 yesterday. It was 51 the day before. Go ahead and take that left leg out straight. Today is just overcast. So it's easier to kind of pull that right knee in. Once again, if this is your bad knee, take that leg out further and find yourself some support. You can always tuck a blanket underneath there as well. Relax the knee a little bit. Notice the difference between side 1 and side 2. Start to fold yourself forward. And know that you may not go as far on the second side as you do on the first side. And that's okay, or you may go further. You can soften that left knee a little bit, even more if that hamstring is fighting you a whole bunch. So your endocrine system is made up of a large number of glands throughout the body, from the crown of your head all the way down into your adrenals. So your adrenals would be one part of that. Your reproductive organs would be another. Some people refer to your spleen and pancreas as having some hormonal aspect. Some people disagree. Also, your thyroid, your parathyroid, your hypothalamus, your pituitary, and your pineal glands are all glands that release hormones to help regulate your body. They produce everything from melatonin to cortisol to dopamine to a large number of other things that affect the cycles of how your body works. Growth, development, sleep. Allow that breath to sink and linger a little longer on the exhale. Most people have either had adrenal fatigue or are on the cusp of having adrenal fatigue, given the lifestyle we lead. Very high stress, high activity, always going. If you have been feeling abnormally fatigued during the day or just really have no idea what's going on with how your body is working, you might want to contact your doctor and or take a look at some of the symptoms they list online for adrenal fatigue and see if that might be what's happening in your life. Two more deep breaths. Gently start to walk your hands back up. Go ahead and reach inside, bend that left knee. Take that right leg out to the side, lean back, rock your knees side to side. So adrenal fatigue can be managed without medication, I believe, but some people would disagree. Meditation and pranayama, breath awareness, mindful movement, diet change, better sleeping habits. Those are some things that would greatly enhance your ability to manage adrenal fatigue and hopefully get out of it. Some people do need, I believe, some medication, especially if you have thyroid issues as well. We're going to go ahead and come onto our bellies. So we're going to take Sphinx pose here. And if you want a little deeper Sphinx pose, you can take that blanket and you can rest your elbows on it. If that's too much for your lower back, then just take your elbows to the floor, palms together, pinkies down. Take your feet a little bit wider. And then go ahead and let the belly and the chest sort of fall forward and down. Pulling the shoulders away from the ears. If you have neck issues, you might want to keep your neck in line with your back. If you want a deeper stretch on the neck, you can drop the chin to the chest and let it rest there. Now you can feel that breath breathing into your belly. You can almost reach the belly down toward the floor. Breathe into the floor. In your 3-part breath, and then exhale into the floor. Just 5 more deep breaths. You can either stay in Sphinx for another minute, or you can take seal pose, taking your hands a little bit wider, thumbs pointing forward, lift up a little bit higher, relax your glute muscles just a little bit. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. If you've ever wondered where your adrenal glands are, because I'm pretty sure I always did, they are right above your kidneys. They actually do help regulate your kidneys as well. So if you were feeling particularly exhausted, the effect your adrenals have on your kidneys may be part of the problem. Keep the kidney meridian line running nice and clear and balanced. This time of year, that can often be very hard. See if you can lift your head, look straight ahead, and pull those shoulders down. Last 2 breaths. Go ahead and bend your elbows no matter where you're at. Lower yourself down nice and slow. You can rest your head on your hands or on that blanket. It's nice to rock your hips a little bit side to side. And go ahead and press yourself up onto your hands and knees. You still can make use of that blanket here if you want to leave that there. We're going to take sleeping swan and swan. So you're going to take that right knee over to that right wrist. Move that foot over toward the left so you feel comfortable. We're going to stay upright just for about a minute, and then we'll lower down. So think about in this pose, not just crunching into the back, but lifting the heart and chest forward and dropping the hips down, lengthening the spine, looking up just a little bit if that's okay for your neck. Think about this back bend as coming all the way through the entire spine, from the base all the way up through the neck, and a big long curve. Last 2 deep breaths. And then slowly start to lower your belly down, hips down. Now here's where that blanket might come in handy. You can tuck it underneath the hip to give you some proppage. You can take it underneath your hands or underneath your head. If this is too much for your knee, know that you can always roll to the outside of that right hip and come into this version of Sleeping Swan. About lengthening the spine and then lowering a little bit more. Last 2 breaths. Start to lift yourself back up. Come up on the fingertips again, lengthen out through the crown of the head, and then place those palms down, flip those back toes, and step back to downward facing dog. Bend one knee and then the other, walk your dog out. If it feels better to come into child's pose, you can always choose child's pose here. Shake your head out yes and no. Go ahead and come back down onto those knees, switch sides. Take that left knee over to the left bottom of the foot over toward the right. Walk that back foot back. Lengthen the spine, forward and up. Last deep inhale and exhale. Start to bring that belly down toward the floor. Use that blanket underneath your right hip if you need to, or left hip, whichever place works best for you. Rest your forearms or head on the floor. Lengthen a little bit of the spine and then lower back down. Check in with your breath again here. Allowing that exhale to lengthen out. Allow your breath to soothe the entire body. Just about 2 more deep breaths. Lift your head, start to walk your hands back up to center, come up on the fingertips, lengthen out through the crown of the head, Flip those back toes, palms flat, step back to downward facing dog or child's pose, whichever works best for you. Walk your dog out. Come back down onto hands and knees. So from here, we're going to take melting heart pose. So you can take that blanket a little bit further out. You're going to shift the hips back just a little bit and come into sort of a cow tilt type position. Walk your hands out. You can drop your forehead to the floor. If you have more mobility in the neck, you can lift and have the chin on the floor. Now, if you want more lift in this pose, you could leave that blanket there. Take your hands on it for more stretch in the shoulders. Think about pressing your forehead into the floor and softening the face. Start to lift your core up and round your back into place. Come back onto hands and knees. And here we're going to take cow and cat for about 10 rounds just to sort of set everything back in place. So allow your breath to guide your movement. You feel like you're back to balance here. Bring your big toes together, knees apart. We're going to come into a twisted child's pose. So with twisted child's pose, you want to bring your knees about as far as you think you can hold for 2 or 3 minutes. We're going to start with just a normal child's pose. Stretch everything out, and then you're going to walk your hands a little bit over to the left. Take that right arm underneath. Lay on the side of the head or on the forehead, whichever feels better for you. You can take that left arm up and over, or you can come into the fingertips and add a little bit more twist to this pose. Here comes my other helper.
Maybe after a few breaths, you can start to walk that right hand out a little bit further. Tuck that shoulder blade underneath a little bit more. If you want a little bit more, you can take that left hand around behind you and twist. Five more deep breaths here. Try to breathe into the back side of that right shoulder and arm, all the way down through the fingertips. Wherever that left hand is, walk it in and place the palm right in front of your face. Start to lift up, turn your head to look straight down, and unwind that right arm. Walk your hands out as far as you can ahead of you. Rest your forehead on the floor. Take 5 deep breaths here. And start to lift up just a little bit. Walk that right hand in. Take that left hand palm facing up way over to the right. Walk your hands over to the right. Here again, you can take that right hand out in front of you. You can take the fingertips to the floor like a cupcake holder and stretch, or you can tuck that hand around behind you. Once again, after a few breaths, if you feel you can walk that left hand out a little bit further for a deeper stretch on the back of the left shoulder and arm, feel free to go there. Just about 3 more breaths. Go ahead and take that right hand wherever it is. Place the palm right in front of your face. Turn your forehead where it's straight down and press up, unwind. Take those arms out in front of you once again. 5 breaths here in just child's pose. Lift your head up, pull those hands in. You're going to press to your palms because you've been in this position for quite a while, and lift the knees up. Pull them a little closer together. So we're going to go ahead and take a frog pose. So I know this is not everybody's favorite pose. I'm so well aware of that. This is where that blanket on the bottom comes really in handy though. So you're going to walk your knees out. You can take that blanket underneath your chest if that feels good for you. Walk your knees out, walk your knees out. Make sure that your ankles are in line with your knees. Your feet are flexed. You can come down to wherever you want to come down to. We won't be here as long as some of the poses, but definitely will be here. This pose really gets deeply into the liver and kidney meridians on the inside of the leg, all the way down into the feet. So an excellent pose for that. Some people find this pose after a period of time becomes more restful and less of a strain. It is always better with some padding underneath your knees. Just 5 more deep breaths. Sometimes in poses we don't like, our breath becomes unstable. So go ahead and focus on your breath. Inhaling, belly, chest, collarbones. Exhaling, collarbones, chest, belly. Extending that exhale out a little bit longer. Breathing in and through that discomfort. So coming out of this pose is a little bit more troublesome than getting in. You're going to flip your toes, bring those feet and heels in. You're going to press your elbows, drag one knee in, then the other. Come all the way back up and just sit on your heels if that's possible for you. Take a few breaths here. Sometimes you can just massage your legs a little bit. That is an intense pose. Close your eyes, check in with your breath. Feel yourself grounding into the floor, stable and secure here.
Gently open your eyes.
You're going to take that extra blanket off to the side. You won't be needing that again. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs for banana pose.
So go ahead and take your feet over to the right. Walk that right foot over, left foot over. You can either leave them side by side or cross the ankles over. You're going to kind of shift the upper body over, but keep your hips on the floor so you can hold that hip down, curve the back. You're going to take that left arm along the floor, right arm up and over. Grab hold of that left wrist with your right arm. So you can either look over to the left or you can look straight up. Think about releasing that left side body. Close your eyes and just breathe. Fill the left lungs completely with air and empty them out time after time, clearing stagnation in the lungs. This also massages the kidneys and the adrenals as this runs down the side body. So breathe into your lower back and side body and exhale. Five more breaths. Make those breaths full and rich and complete. Turn your head back to center. Go ahead and release your left hand and take those arms down alongside the body first, palms facing up. Shift your upper body straight down the middle. Unwind that left leg from the right. And just take a few breaths here. Let your toes fall out to the side, arms open, shoulders lift. Notice the energy running down the left side of the body versus the right. That energy may feel like bubbles or cold air or water, tingling sensations. Notice how the breath in the left side of your body is stronger and richer and fuller than on the right. Go ahead and walk that left heel over to the left. Take that right over with it. Cross it over or leave it side by side. Start to move your upper body over a little bit to the left as well. Sweep that right arm up and over your head. Left arm grabs that right wrist or right elbow, whatever feels best for you.
Turn and look over the right shoulder or straight up. Here again, breathe into the right side body all the way from the toes through the fingertips. Fill the lungs all the way up. And exhale them all out. Five more breaths. Fill that right side body up as full as you can. Deep, rich breath. Exhale it all out. Slowly release your hands down to the sides. Take the head back to center. Line the upper body up. Unwind that right foot. Take 5 deep breaths here. Toes out to the side, shoulders soft. Notice again the energy running down the right side of the body now. Feel how much deeper and richer your breath is on both sides of your lungs. Then go ahead and bend your knees. Take your feet flat to the floor. We're going to take a supine twist here. So you can shift your hips over to the right. You're going to bring those knees in a little bit stacked and lay them over to the left. So you can take that right arm out to the right. The left hand can rest on those knees. You can turn and look over your right shoulder. You can take those feet out a little bit so you have a 90-degree angle in the knees. This is going to change where the twist occurs for you. So as you tighten those legs in, it moves up the back a little bit more. As you take them out further, it comes into the lower back just a little bit more. And that's probably better for the kidneys and adrenals right now. A little massage there, a little twist, a little ringing action. deep breaths. Breathing into the kidneys, the back side of the body, the adrenals. Gently turning your head back to center. Engage your core and bring those knees back through the middle. You're going to walk your feet wide and drop those knees together, hands to your belly, just for 3 deep breaths. And then switching sides. So take those hips over to the left. Bring those knees in a little bit. Take that left arm out. Stack those knees and take them over to the right. Now this side may act differently, like it does for me. So you may not be able to take your feet out as far into the 90-degree angle. Lift your head just a little bit. Turn it to the left if you want, or look straight up. Close your eyes and breathe into that space. Right at the base of your spine, the side body. Three more breaths. Open your eyes, turn, lift your head, bring it back to center, engage your core, come back through the middle, hands to your belly, feet wide, knees drop together. Take the biggest breaths you've taken here. Open your mouth and exhale them out. 2 more times. You can stay here in Shavasana, or you can take your feet out to the corners of the mat, palms out to the side. Gently tuck your shoulder blades underneath. Turn your head to left and right a few times. If your neck has been particularly sticky this week, you can lift your head, look at your toes, and then lower that head back down to bring length through the neck, cervical spine. Let everything release and relax. Once again, focus on your breath here and allow it to be a little extended exhale. And here in Shavasana, notice that your breath is not just breathing, that there is a pause at the top of the inhale and a pause at the bottom of the exhale.
We sometimes refer to this as the space in between each breath. If it feels comfortable for you, allow that space to linger just a little bit longer. Allow that space to be that still, quiet point in your breath, in your body, in your mind. Keep allowing that breath to deepen and lengthen, relaxing your entire body. May today there be peace within. May you trust that you are exactly where you are meant to be. May you not forget the infinite possibilities that are born of faith in yourself and in others. May you use the gifts that you have received and pass on the love that has been given to you. May you be content with yourself, just the way you are. Let this knowledge settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love. It is there for each and every one of us. If you have more time to spend in Shavasana, please take as long as you feel you need. If this is all the time that you have, you can slowly start to bend your knees, bring your feet flat to the floor. Softly wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently roll over to your right side, pausing on your right side for a few breaths to remember how it feels to experience that space in between each breath. That stillness. Whenever you are ready, go ahead and press yourself up to whatever seated position you like best. You can keep your eyes closed or open. Take your hands palms up or palms down onto your knees. Gently roll your shoulders down your back and lengthen your spine. Notice your breath. On your next exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. On your inhale, take those arms up overhead, palms together, open your eyes, exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. I hope this practice made you feel a lot better, or at least made you feel a little bit more balanced. Please, if you have been feeling particularly fatigued or you find some things are going oddly strange in your body, like your temperature is odd, your digestion is off, your kidneys are sort of acting strange, please reach out to your physician of choice and talk to them about all these things that are going on. These are not phantom things, and they can be addressed and handled with some changes to your life. And they are accessible things that you can change about your life to prevent it from happening again. So once you get them back into balance, you want to avoid ever having that happening again. So remember how much your endocrine system works to bring your body into this sense of balance, and how important it is to have hormones balanced correctly and to take care of your entire body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. So please take some time to take care of yourself. breathing, meditation, very slow restorative or yin yoga practices will help you a great deal in that process. So please add those to whatever your doctor or physician may prescribe. Those are also excellent things to help you. If you enjoyed this class, please like and comment down below. Give it a thumbs up. Also, if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. I appreciate every single person in our community. If you have questions or comments, I am quick to respond to them. You can email me, you can PM me through Facebook, you can reach out to me, all the different ways, and I respond usually in less than 3 or 4 hours. So I'm online all the time, it looks like. So please come and join our community. I upload new videos 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. You never know what you might get. But you will get practices like this and many more other practices that will help you live, hopefully, a healthier life, nourishing mind, body, and soul. Have a great day.